Hey YouTube here, going to talk about things going on in the world around us. This time, once again, Olympics. Simone Biles. Simone Biles, for those of you who don't know, is often synonymous with the word GOAT. She's often considered the greatest female Olympian of all time. And going into Olympic trials, her leotard had a bedazzled goat on her leotard. Not the word goat, a literal animal goat. And then when it came to this Olympics, she cracked, has not been performing well. And so when it came to her individual sports, she just backed out. And when asked about it to the media, she said that, it just hasn't been fun, hasn't been a pleasant experience. It should be fun. It should be a pleasant experience. And it's like, well, I'll keep going before I talk about it because I'm very frustrated about it. But following that, last night in Olympic trials, sorry, not Olympic trials, in the team competition, she just walks off, has a bad vault, and just walks off and leaves her team hanging for minutes. And Nastia Lukin and the other Olympic commentators were like, "What's going on? This is like the most dramatic thing I've ever seen in the Olympics. A team captain just a walkout on her team, and then the team is just kind of standing around. Then she comes back and kind of gives them hugs and says, "Anything you need, I'll do it." And they're like, "Okay." And then they kind of do the rest of the events by themselves with her just sitting there on the sidelines, sometimes not even celebrating with her team when they have a victory. And then that's it. USA, first time in a while, got silver, and the ROC, first time since like the 1920s, Russia specifically, has gotten a medal for women's gymnastics, a gold medal for women's gymnastics. So we just gave them those medals on a silver platter, literally our own silver medal platter. Oh, so let's just talk about Simone Biles. First, her comments on it's not fun. Sports aren't always fun. I mean, this is what happens when you take teenagers and put them on the world stage and say you're the greatest, greatest ever, and it's supposed to be fun. This is what happens when you take kids and their whole life, give them medals for nothing. When it comes time for them to have to actually compete, they can't do it. It's like, oh, I'm not having fun. This isn't fun. What's so frustrating about Simone Biles in this regard is she has tons of sponsorships. She has a tour she's going to be doing when she gets back. She's making lots of money to be on the world stage. And to be synonymous with the title of greatest of all time isn't fair to her either, because it gives her this extra added pressure, and that's just not fair to our whole Olympic team, because if there was someone else in her place, USA might have gold. I support her decision to back out, because she was definitely in her own head and really, really badly messing up really things that should be totally within her wheelhouse. But she got in her own head, probably because of the extra added pressure. This the other thing a lot of people aren't talking about is the Olympics this year. Families can't travel with teams. So we have all these kids in high school who've never been away from their parents, especially on the other side of the world from them. And the team that's doing excellent right now is the Russia Olympic Committee, because Russia does that. They'll take the athletes away from their homes, and um, they'll live away from their families for half the year. And that's just normal for them to have to compete without their families. But the United States really showed their weakness with Simone Biles. To have a culture which is um, so rewarding of nothingness, of so just quick to say you're the greatest, quick to say you're the best. You can't do wrong, and when you actually do wrong, it's insanely jarring whiplash to go from best to worst in an instant. We need to really make it a point to teach kids that you have to fight for what you want in life in a respectful manner. In athletics, respect the rules, but you probably won't be the best. You probably won't get first, but you do your hardest. Do your darndest and try your hardest to get first. This mentality of you're the best no matter what is what causes things like Simone Biles. I'll add to this if you're still listening. Simone Biles actually did have a traumatic event happen to her when she was a child, which does contribute to her lack of confidence on the world stage. And having that extra trauma can be an added pressure when trying to perform on the world stage. But that's another reason why you shouldn't be so generous with the title of the greatest, because many people right now are very upset at her and say she doesn't deserve the title. Anyways, that's it for me. I'll talk to you guys on the next one.